Hey, Gina here with Tarot in Time. I'm here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week of January 3rd. So if you listened last week, you caught my epic fail where I skipped right over the Capricorn new moon and went right to the Aquarius new moon that'll happen next month. It's very Sagittarius-like. So I have a tendency to jump ahead, to skip ahead. I have no earth in my chart, so sometimes I overlook things like a Capricorn new moon. So sorry about that, and let's go back and discuss that Capricorn new moon because we're still feeling the effects of it. So it peaked on Sunday, and so we're going to feel the effects for a good 3 days after. So Capricorn, the sun is always in Capricorn when we move into the new year. So we're thinking about our practical plans for the new year because Saturn's all about practicality, groundedness. It rules in astrology, it rules the structure of our life, it rules our careers. And it's ruled by Saturn, this kind of energy, right? This is the rules, this is how we do things, we follow through, success comes over time. And so we always have that energy going into a new year, but then we had this beautiful new moon bringing us right into the new year. So it peaked on Sunday the 2nd, but we were feeling it a few days before too. So we got this extra burst of what do we want? How do we want to get clear? What do we want to grow, right? And a new moon is all about planting seeds. That's why we make wishes. So what are our wishes? What are our practical wishes? What are our dreamy wishes? All of that. But what do we want to create? And really taking the steps towards creating that. So I've got my Capricorn water, new moon water here. I still have my jar in the window, but I definitely need some grounding energy. So I kind of just pour off of the water jug throughout the time of the new moon. So what do we want to talk about here? The Capricorn energy, the gift of the new year. We are finally in 2022, and we have been waiting. A lot of us have been waiting for this for a while. We are moving into a 6th year in numerology. And I love how Sheila Haidt in her week ahead reading talks about a 6th year as being a gift, the year of the gift. It's a year of balance, of self-value, of relationships and partnerships, and acknowledgement of your achievements. First starting with your own acknowledgement of them, and then others being able to acknowledge them. So really getting clear, getting grounded, getting focused. Now we know we've been talking about how Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn, is making that square with Uranus that rules Aquarius, right? That lightning bolt of change, insight, wisdom, forward-moving energy. And so it wants to break up all these old structures, these old ways of being, because Capricorn rules anything like antique, old, traditions, ways of being. It's a cardinal sign, right? Cardinal signs are the really strong energy of pushing us into a new season. And so this is a big year of forward movement. I'm really excited to think about the cards of the year that are associated with a 6th year. So we would look at number 6 in the major arcanas, which I love this version from the Light Seers. This is the Lovers. So beautiful. And so as much as the Lovers is about partnership, it's a Gemini card, right? But it's also about choices and taking the pause, not jumping right into things, taking a deep breath. Something us Geminis aren't always known for. If you don't know my signs, I have a Sagittarius sun, a Cancer rising, and a Gemini moon. So there's a lot of energy. You can see why I would skip over an Aquarius, skip to an Aquarius new moon, right? So the second card of the year would be the Devil card, because 1 and 5 in numerology equals 6. This is an interesting version of it. Where are we enslaved? Where are we still hung up in guilt and shame? Where are we following these rules that don't work for us? Where are we living in fear? These are all issues that we're going to be talking about this year. Now, I love how in Sheila Haidt's report she talks about Pluto energy, because we know we've been talking about how Pluto and Venus have been crossing over each other. Venus has been crossing over Pluto, right? And so she referred to it as a dance. So that's why I chose for pile number 2 this Judgment card from the Dark Mansion. I love this Judgment card because it's a dance. It's Pluto. It's card number 20, so it's in relationship. And so with this Venus-Pluto conjunction, it is about our relationships. And then with the 6th year, it brings up relationships. So there's a lot of transformation going on right now. And let's use this for the positive. Pluto, which rules the underworld, it really does rule psychology in a way, and also rules therapy. And it wants to help us transform. So this is the time to acknowledge the deeper emotions, see what's really going on with our behavior, what's going on behind that, because we have a chance to free ourselves. And that sounds wonderful. I feel personally like Pluto is so, people are so afraid of Pluto energy, but it can transform, it can relieve us of some old behavior. What's really the root of the issue? And with this Venus retrograde going on and doing the dance with Pluto, we have a chance to really clean up some old relationships, especially with women. There's an opportunity for healing. It's a time to look at what we're hiding from, because Pluto rules Scorpio, which loves to hide. And it's a chance to free ourselves. So it's exciting. Let's be free of our old, outdated habits, belief systems, and move forward this year. Move forward into these positive relationships that work for us. I love how on this Lovers card, she has Sagittarius sign tattooed on her arm. Well, Sagittarius is the ultimate match for Gemini. So let's find our matches, those that we align to, and let go of those old stuff so that we're not subconsciously aligning to people through our wounds and our outdated junk. Okay, so starting off the week, we have Jupiter making an aspect to the North and South node. You've heard me talk about the nodes, North node, well, South node being past life point, a cup that holds everything that ever happened to you, and then the North node being more about why you came here to this planet, your soul's contract. So Jupiter's there. Jupiter, even in a square, it brings great things. So we can set aside what's not working, the old stuff. Let's move forward on why we're here and accomplishing our mission of why we're here. Now, let's see. We're going to start off the week. The moon, which we talk about because it affects our moods so much, is going to be in Capricorn until Monday night. So around dinner time Monday night, it will move into Aquarius, and it will stay there until Wednesday, about a little after 7:17 p.m. Eastern time. It'll move into Pisces. So Aquarius is very, I like to say, unpredictably predictable. So I find that it's very hard to make plans when the moon's in Aquarius. That's my experience. It's just things can change, it can bounce around, and just kind of being adaptable, knowing that that's kind of just the energy of it. Especially work-wise, because remember the sun is in Capricorn. Now, we'll be in the sign of Pisces from Wednesday until almost midnight on Saturday. So by the time we wake up, the moon will be in Aries, and we'll have an Aries weekend. So I would say Wednesday to Friday, Pisces loves to rest and relax and retreat and be creative and be in water. So great time for baths and any opportunity to have a water experience and really sharing emotions. And we're doing all this cleanup work, and a good time to express that. And then a very dynamic Aries weekend, so taking action, really getting some things done. Now, we do need to remember that Venus is still in retrograde. It's going to be in retrograde till January 29th. And we're going to have 2 retrogrades going on at the same time, because Mercury, the planet of communication, planet of our intellect, the planet of pathways, it also rules roadways. And it is going to be starting retrograde, moving backwards, starting January 14th. So we have some time right now, January 14th. major purchases. I know Venus is still in retrograde, so that kind of mixes into it a little bit. But after January 14th, you want to be really careful with purchases, especially things that just come up out of the blue, until the end of the month. And so in about the beginning of February, things will start to lighten up. Mercury retrograde will end February 3rd. And then remember, even though on January 29th Venus will go direct, it's still going to go back over Pluto. So interesting times, great opportunities to let things go that don't work, to love yourself more, to be kinder to yourself, to take a real look at what's going on so that you can attract into your life the things that you want and let go of the things that don't. So let's go ahead and start with picking our pile. There's so much more stuff we could talk about. Oh, the one thing I do want to talk about is that Wednesday, Venus will be sextile Neptune, which is a very positive aspect. So we really just want to look at really what's going on deep in us, what our soul really wants. And then on Saturday, the Sun and Venus are going to be conjunct together. It's a great time for love. I know it's Venus retrograde, but I'm still going to say it. It's a great time for self-love. It's an opening to newness. And again, Sheila talks about in her report that it's a great time to buy yourself a gift and love yourself more. So that can be something small, something simple, whatever you want to do. But really, this is a great weekend if you're dating, if you're out there, if you're looking for new partnerships, even work-wise, as it's Capricorn. This weekend with the Sun conjunct Venus is going to be a beautiful dynamic time, especially on Saturday, the 8th. Okay, so we're going to start with our piles here. Pile number 1, I chose from this Moonology Oracle deck, the Cardinal Moon, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, cardinal being the one that pushes forward the new season. And pile number 1 is Be Bold and Make the First Move. Now, pile number 2, I already showed you this beautiful Judgment card from the Dark Mansion deck. And pile number 3, the new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. Okay, pick your pile. Let's get started. Pile number 1, Be Bold and Make the First Move. Cardinal Moon, beautiful Moonology deck. I've learned a lot about the new moons, all the moons from that Moonology deck. It's really beautiful. Okay, so I used my pendulum to choose the decks. I had to go through a big pile of decks that I don't always work with because none of the decks wanted to be used in this week's reading. So we had very specifically were chosen that the Animal Totem, I forget the name of it now. It's a Native American deck. I think it's called Wise Woman. It's gonna come to me. I'll think of it. This deck. And the Black Cat Tarot, and then a golden version of the Rider-Waite. Those were the ones. Nothing else wanted to be here. So that's going to be interesting to see what these have to say. Okay, week ahead. I have not looked at any of these cards. Let's see what we're starting off with here. Well, I'm starting off with the Tower from the Black Cat Tarot. It's interesting. Talk about the Aquarian energy. I keep going back to that Aquarian energy. Okay, so we have Saturn square Uranus, right? Uranus rules Aquarius. And so it wants to bring change. It likes to shake up the place. It wants to break out the things that don't work anymore. It likes newness. It's cutting edge. It's like modern technology. And it's breaking up the old. And it wants you, with your first card there, to be bold and make the first move. Now, Aquarius is associated with large groups of people, with friend groups. Let's see what we've got in the heart of the matter here. Got the Death card from the Animal Totem. Pretty wild. So this is Pluto. This is that Pluto dance that's going on right now. You've got 2 major arcana starting us off, and they're all about change. And so there's something there for you to allow this change, to be freed of this old stuff, this rotten stuff that doesn't work for you anymore. Supporting the heart of the matter, we have the Totem of Stones called the Snake Crawlers. going deep, deep down. What old stuff that's deep that just needs to be cleared out? It's ready. It's ready. It's exciting. On the foundation, we have the Three of Pentacles. Feels very Capricorn-like. What are you building? What are you working towards? 3 is such like a foundation number. It's like the blueprint stage. It's what is it that you want? There's some things that need to be cleared so you can perfect what you're doing. Look how he's carving out that statue there. Okay, let's see what's going on in the background. The 10 of Stones or 10 of Pentacles. There's a transaction going on there. It's a 10, so it's reached its highest point. There's some sale being made. It's actually a sale of jewelry, which is interesting with all this Venus energy. Maybe that's you buying yourself that gift we talked about. Okay, but she's really being specific, pointing out what it is that she wants. We have the 9 of Pentacles behind the scenes. This is slow-moving energy. There's nothing rushing about Capricorn. Capricorn does not rush. It's grounded. It waits things out. It knows its value. And this is coming in the background. Now your forward movement, you have the Death card again. Look at that. But it's shiny and gold, shimmering. This change is coming. Some of this change will be in your control and some of it isn't. Some of it's just things are going to move out for you. So bless it and thank it for leaving because it does not serve you anymore. It's not of value to you anymore. And now there's some things that you need to do to clear out, but look at the leap forward that you're making. You are really moving forward. This is like the Knight of Wands. He's making this tremendous leap of faith. And you are ready. You are ready to leave this stuff behind, and it's ready to leave you. That's really how I'm seeing it. Now, I want to pull a few more. It's something women's... Oh, I can't think of the name. How could I forget the name? I love this. I love this. Medicine Woman. Medicine Woman. Yes. Great deck. I haven't worked with this one in a while. I guess it wants to work with me. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. A couple more cards. The Grandfathers, which is the Star card. Look at that. Your ancestors are there pointing you in the right direction towards a waterfall. The waterfalls release negative ions, right? They make us feel better. So also sage does that, which is kind of cool. And so you're being guided. And really the grandfathers, you know, I think your ancestors are so related to Scorpio, to Pluto. We have that Pluto dance going on. And but this is the star. This is Aquarian energy. And so you started off with the Tower. That's also Aquarian energy. So this change is almost being guided. You're being directed exactly in the direction that you need to go in. I think it's really beautiful. Let's see if there's anything else. The Magician. And this is called Resources. Look at it all. There is no lack here. It's all there. Everything's coming together for you, and it's a new story. And this is Pluto energy. It's also Mars, I believe, but it's Pluto. It wants to bring this change. It's giving this full picture. I just love this card. Okay. And it's resources. We had pentacles, all this jewelry, these resources. You're being guided. You're being guided in the right direction. There is no lack here. Okay, I'm going to roll some dice. I'm going to pull an oracle deck. I've got some letters for you today. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Venus in the sign of Taurus in the 9th house. Okay, so Venus in the sign of Taurus, which is a Venus sign. In the 9th house, which is Jupiter, Sagittarius energy, it's expansion, spirituality, it's the bigger picture. Loving yourself more. Venus, Taurus is like that jewelry there. Loving yourself more, being kinder to yourself every day, expanding that out. It's exciting. Okay, So let's do some letters, then we'll do an oracle. Word rose is jumping right out. Rose. Maybe your gift to yourself is some roses. Why not? The word head, no, head. Let's see what else we've got. Okay, what do I have here? I have the word brass, B-R-A-S-S, a brass rose. The word head, the word law. And I've got the word zone. Okay. All right, and I'm going to leave the rest here. You can see what you come up with. The word fir, F-I-R. Okay. All right, so I'll take a picture of that so you can see that. I want to pull this Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. Really wanted to be part of this reading. My pendulum went crazy for it. It's really pretty. And so let's see what we have here. Starting off this beautiful new year with change for you. You're ready to leap ahead. All the resources are there for you. You're ready to love yourself more. You're ready to get out of your head and into your heart. And let's see what we have here. Rigid. She looks like she's inviting you in. And I'm going to read her to you. And let's see where she is. Okay, she is. Keywords: inspiration, revelation, creativity. The great mother goddess Bridget offers you a flame of inspiration from her cauldron of brewing creativity. Such a gift as this must not be passed up. The gift keeps coming up. Now is the moment to act on the orders of your muse. She will speak to you in the midst of an artistic and creative endeavor when you are most receptive. Your eyes, hands, and ears will be guided to create magic. By following the instructions of your muse, you will find your soul is nourished and a greater meaning to your time on earth is understood. Inside the act of creativity is a hidden treasure, the ability to slip out of time into eternity. Bridget will inspire you to find your fire within. Here she is. Have a wonderful week. Pile number 2, this beautiful Judgment card. Pluto energy, right? Laying the past to rest. It's ready for a transformation, especially in regards to relationships, old relationships. Okay, let's see what we've got this week ahead. I used my pendulum to choose these decks. It was very specific which decks it wanted to work with today. I had to actually go through a pile of decks I don't use a lot because all the other ones were rejected. So we're working with the Animal Totem, this one right here. We have the Medicine Woman, which is really one of my favorites. I just haven't worked with it in a while. The Black Cat's Tarot, and then I've got this really golden version of the Rider-Waite. So let's see what you need to know this big week ahead, this first full week of the new year. We're starting off with the Ace of Cups. What a way to start it off. Something new, something gratifying, something satisfying, right? And that Judgment card laying that past relationship stuff to rest. So we know we're doing that dance with Pluto, and it wants to transform the relationships. It wants to clear out the old stuff. This is a great time for therapy. This is a great time for cleanup work. And you're being offered this cup of satisfaction. Supporting the heart, we have this beautiful Justice card, Balance. It's card number 11, which also equals 2. This is a Venus card. So again, relationships, the balance. You see these two people down here? You see them holding up the whole world, their worlds. Justice. So again, in relationship, working together, creating this beautiful life. And that can be working together with yourself, being kinder, being, not torturing yourself about this past stuff. Supporting the heart of the matter. We have the Six of Wands. It's like receiving an award, being cheered on. And the Foundation card. This is one of my favorite cards, and it's Judgment. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Discernment. Look how beautiful that is. Now this is the same card that we're topped with here. Judgment. What a different version. Right? But there it is, the mind. Letting these things go. Having the discernment to let this go so that you can have this freedom of the mind. Beautiful. And it's card number 20. So again, it's a 2. So there's a big relationship theme going on. It lines right up with what's going on astrology-wise. So you're right on point here. In the background, we have the Three of Cups. How pretty is that? Right? But it could be these old friendships, these old situations that there's a change happening. We have the Eight of Pentacles behind the scenes. This is kind of like the hard work card. Nothing's gonna stop him from climbing that rock mass. Very Capricorn. Okay, moving into the forward position, we have the Four of Swords. I forget the name of this toad, but like he only comes out when there's a certain amount of rainfall. So he knows when to pause and when to make his move. Well, we have the Ten of Swords coming up in the future position. Well, this is an interesting card. 10 is the highest point. So there's been a lot of self-torture going on here. There may be a lot of things that you've been holding back from saying and waiting for the right moment, but it's torturing you. This is not a fun card, right? The good news is it can't get any worse. So, you know, starting to think about the Ten of Swords of like, we know something's off on sword 1 and sword 2, and as it goes along, but we keep allowing it to get bigger. So let's pull a couple more. I don't want to stop at the Ten of Swords. Let's see what else is going on. Exemplar of Stones, which is actually the King of Pentacles in the Medicine Woman deck. The Horn of Plenty. And here's the Three of Cups again. It's almost like making peace, like almost with the ancestors in a way. I'm going to use another deck. I want to pull a couple more just to see what else is going on here. So basically laying some old relationships laying it to rest. Their heart's wanting this satisfaction, this lightness. Supporting the heart is this balance, these more reciprocal relationships that work together well to create a life that you're looking for. You have the Six of Wands, which is often called the rock star card there. So your success is there for you through discernment and through letting these things go. And so let me just get a couple more. I've got the Emperor and the Nine of Swords. Okay, it just really feels like there's a lot of anguish about these things that have to be spoken. It feels more like it's within a friend group to me, although it could be a love relationship. It really could be any kind of relationship. You need to connect and ask for help. You need to connect with your higher power. You need to connect and ask for guidance here, because it's almost like you're not getting a lot of rest. There's a lot of responsibilities here. You're in a position where you are overseeing a lot, and it seems like you've been waiting to like speak up, and I really feel like now's the time that you need to say things. It doesn't have to be mean. It needs to be from the heart, and it needs to be lightened. Four of Wands. and the Three of Arrows. Okay, but remember, let's see, we had Judgment. So we've got Four of Pipes, which is implying like working together, building something. And then the Three of Arrows, kind of going back and forth, like there's the arrow through the heart. So kind of feels like there's a lot that you're building and it looks like you're successful with that, but there may have been some situations, especially in friend groups, where you feel like stressed, or maybe you're just not, like you have things you want to say, or maybe you've said some things and you've hurt someone and you're kind of waiting and you don't know what to do. This is time to clear that up. It's time for a fresh start here because you're just torturing yourself is what I'm seeing. Any more advice for you? Eight of Arrows and the High Priestess. Here's the Eight of Swords. There's a gift being offered. And then the High Priestess, the Seeker. I love this card. Really seeing yourself, being kinder to yourself, trusting your intuition. It's also a 2. Okay, so if there's a way to, maybe there's a peace offering that you can make. But maybe it's a peace offering that you just need to make to yourself. Because right now, the real relationship that I see is the relationship with yourself. And so you have to forgive and move on. This is the time. Allow this Pluto energy to help you out. I'm going to roll some dice, do some letters, and I've got an oracle card for you too. You've got Mars and Scorpio in the 6th house. So Mars wants to take action. It actually fell right here on the Emperor, who is ruled by Mars. Taking action. Scorpio is deep emotion. And the 6th house is Virgo's house. House of health, house of wellness, the house of your service in this world. So you owe it to yourself and to your health to clear this up, to speak what needs to be said with gentleness. But it needs to come out and be cleared up. You're ready. Let's see what we have for letters. Word note, N-O-T-E. Maybe you need to write it down first. Do I have Queen? I have Q-U-E-E, and I have the N from note. I have Queen. Okay. Now, what else do we have here? Word after. Do I have an R? No, I do not. The word tag. And I have a lot of things that aren't making any sense. I have the word E, E-A-T, and the word feet, F-E-A-T. And, okay, I'm just going to put these other ones here so you can see if you can make anything out of it. All right. All right, those are just some spare ones up there. Okay, Queen, note, feet, and tag. All right, let's go into... You know, my pendulum really wanted to use this Mystic Sisters deck. It's an oracle deck. I don't work with it that much, but it really was clear that it wanted to be part of this. I'm going to pull a couple charms, too. Got an O. Got a lot of O's. Ooh. All right. And number 5, I've got a G and an I. Form the name Gia. Okay. Number 2, interesting, that keeps coming up as relationships. You have an eraser. So this possibility to kind of clear up some of these things that have happened. This fell on the 10 of Swords. A 5 of Clubs, which 5 is a number of change. This little boy, I think it's like Morty or somebody. But anyways, he fell over here. So maybe you know, maybe we can apologize for our childishness. But there's time to clear this up. There's time for change. You're ready. And maybe it needs to be written. It's something that you can do. You're ready to do this. Okay, let's see what your beautiful Mystic Sisters Oracle card is for this week ahead. Oh, there's also the sun that fell out that I missed. And it fell on top of the Emperor. And the Emperor has to make decisions for the greater good. So there may have been, you may need to express why you had to make the choices that you did. Maybe there was something bigger going on, and maybe there was other people's well-being at stake. Okay, we have the card of Sisterhood of the Silk Road. Interesting. Almost resembles the Three of Cups. And I'm going to read to you what that means. Sisterhood of the Silk Road. Let's see what that is. Okay. What is it under? I think. All right. Well, Sisterhood of the Silk Road. Key words: wanderlust, fortunate travels. The Sisters of the Silk Road embody the spirit of open-minded adventurers, and they are extremely fortunate in the connections they've made with others on their journey. The exchange of worldviews, spiritual concepts, and all the refined things across their cultures have enriched their lives greatly and transformed them all. Embarking on an adventure outside of our everyday routine brings us back into a childlike openness, activates our curiosity, and therefore expands our intelligence. This card bodes well for travel and offers a reminder to be grateful for the close bonds you've made with others on your path and for all the treasures they have gifted you with along your way. Have a great week. Pile number 3. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Okay, let's see what we got this first week, full week, 2022. I used my pendulum to choose the decks. It was very specific that I did not want to work with about the first 15 decks I asked it for. And so I actually had to pull out some decks that I haven't worked with in a while. And it was very clear that it wanted to work with these. So we have the beautiful Medicine Woman Tarot. I used to work with this a lot, and now it's back. I have a golden version of the Rider-Waite. I have the Black Cat Tarot. And I have the Animal Totem, which is another one I used to work with a lot, but it's back. Okay, let's see what you need to know. I haven't looked at any of these cards yet. What you need to know this week ahead. Starting off with cake. Boy, that sounds like a good way to start off. This is the Eight of Pentacles. The icing on the cake. Love it. Your hard work is paying off. It's time to celebrate it. In your heart position, we have the Two of Swords. This bird's kind of taking a step back, looking at things from a distance. It's a 2, so it's anything in relationship. Swords is the mind, the thought. I'm kind of pondering it all. Maybe you've reached, the first card was your hard work is paying off. So maybe you've reached a point where it's like, okay, let's celebrate what successes we've had. And then take some time to reflect on what's going on. And reflect is actually a key word during retrogrades, right? Anything that starts with RE. So we're in this Venus retrograde. It's a great time for reflection, especially about money, right? Because Venus is associated with money. Now, supporting the heart of the matter, we have the Eight of Pipes, which would be the Eight of Wands, which is usually a travel card, getting out. She looks like she's leaving home behind, getting ready to go. And on our foundation, we have the Six of Pentacles. 6 being the number of the year. Look how that cat's reaching down to pull the other one up, rising up. 6, we were talking about partnerships and relationships. And so there's this helpful friend pulling you up, helping you out. Now, in the background, we have the Three of Cups. Interesting, this came up in the same position in the last pile. Three of Cups in the background. So there's definitely a celebration. That could be your New Year's celebration in the background. And we have the Chariot card, this killer whale wanting to move ahead at great speed, but this is ruled by the moon. This is a Cancer card. So there's this intuitive energy pulling you forward on your spiritual path. Now, in the future position, we have the Exemplar of Pipes. This is actually the King of Wands in this Medicine Woman deck. King of Wands is quite the traveler. Celebrating, smoking the pipe, celebrating all that is. Looks like there's some musical instruments nearby. There's a lot of celebration going on here. And then we've got the big King of Swords here. Look at him. He looks like he's been working a little hard. All right, so maybe this is a time that you need to kind of pause. You've been working, right? The year's ended, the calendar year's ended. So celebrating, reflecting. And there's almost this idea of like giving, helping someone out, being a good partner, helping people, rising up. Maybe there's a financial donation that you need to make this year. Your hard work is paying off, and so now you need to have some rest and retreating, right? Let's pull a few more cards, see if there's anything else you need to know here. Got another two of arrows, two of swords again. 10 of pipes. Interesting. Okay, so this card, 2 of arrows, and then this card that came up in the heart of the matter are the same card, right? This one's like kind of more reflecting, and this one is shooting right on point and looks like someone's whispering in her ear that she has help there from guides, from ancestors, helping her be right on point. Here's the 10 of pipes. That almost looks like an internship or teaching a child. The 10 of pipes, 10 of wands. And it looks like the mother is like painting, and there's the child behind her watching. So maybe there's something switching for you. Maybe you're getting some new assistance, new partnerships that you're going into. Maybe you're bringing in a new apprentice or something into your business so that you have more time to get out and have that King of Wands experience. So let's do a few more things here. Let's start with some dice. Uranus in Scorpio in the 8th house. Okay, Uranus, lightning bolt of change, right? Aquarius energy, brilliance, modern technology, genius energy. Scorpio, deep emotion. 8th house is Scorpio's house too. It's also the house of other people's money. So there's something here. It also has to do with your ancestors, and we saw some guides coming in here in the background. Allowing that to come in, allowing change to happen. And I think it has a lot to do with your business, but there's some deep emotions that need to be expressed that will help you move forward. Now, I feel like I just want to pull 2 more tarot cards. I'm going to do it from this golden Rider-Waite. Is there anything else here? Well, there's 3 cards. One is the Devil, one is the 6 of Cups, and one is the 2 of Swords again. So you've had the 2 of Swords 3 times. So you may want to do a little research about the 2 of Swords, because it's 2 in relationships. Swords is air energy, so it's the mind, it's thoughts, and yet this one's eyes are closed, right? So kind of saying that it's not as much about the external world, and it's more about going in and kind of going into feeling more, getting out of that mind. Here's the 6 of Cups, which is a very beautiful, fun, reminiscent, lovely time, like childhood play. And then we have the Devil, which is one of the cards of the year, right? Where are we enslaved, especially to our work? Because it's ruled by Saturn, so it's big business. How are we enslaved to it? There's this new energy that wants to come in, so there can be some more lightness, more playfulness. Where are we hung up? And again, it's kind of going back into, we rolled Scorpio 8th house, deep emotion. What's What's going on deep down? What's really running the show here? What thoughts are really running the show? Is there guilt? Is there some obligation? Are you running like a family business that this is the way things were done and now you don't want to change things because this is how it's always been done? There's a need for an update here. Now I'm going to pull a few charms. This little Morty guy keeps coming out here. Little person here. And it fell on the Six of Pentacles, so maybe there's a charity that has to do with kids that maybe you want to give to. On the cake, we got the word heart, and we have this beautiful little turtle that I was gifted a few years ago, and the number 58. On the Two of Swords fell out this royalty tag, and the number 52. I've got a G, I've got the word what, letter N, but it says N squared. N squared, and you had a lot of twos. Number 5, which is all about change. Okay, I'm gonna do some letters, and then I'm gonna pull a really beautiful oracle card for you. The Mystic Sisters deck really wanted to be part of this reading. My pendulum went crazy when I put it over it. So we'll see what you have for that. But let's see what words we have first. All right, we've got a lot of letters here. I've got the word felt, F-E-L-T. So we know that there's a lot of deep feelings going on because we had all that Scorpio. We rolled Scorpio and we rolled Scorpio's house. And I think I might even have the word deep, D-E-E-P. So we're definitely talking about deep feelings. Now we've got the word told, T-O-L-D, like the old things that you've been told. We had Saturn come up. We have the word hire, H-I-R-E. We were talking about hiring help, maybe hiring an apprentice, something like that. Some younger energy to come in. Do I have anything else? Let's see. The word puns, P-U-N-S. And, all right, the word sight, C-I-T-E. All right, I'll take a picture of that so you can see if you come up with anything else. And let's see what we have for your oracle card. Look how beautiful this oracle deck is. The Mystic Sisters. And they're all about goddesses and mythological archetypes. So let's see what we have for you this first week ahead of January. I guess it's that one. All right, what do we got? Nyx. Kind of resembling that Three of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna read this card to you, and I hope you have a great week. Let's see what we've got here for Nyx. Keywords, mystery, which is totally Scorpio. The unknown. Nyx, the Greek goddess of night, beckons you to relax with the great mystery of the cosmos. She is a shadowy figure who thins the veil of magical realms. It is said that those who worshipped her would do so at night in complete darkness. Also so Scorpio. Nyx reawakens our sense of wonder and awe of the unknown. She urges you to relax and find peace with the deep mysteries. She calms us when we become anxious over things we cannot know. We often become so involved with day-to-day mundane tasks that we forget that deep magic is at work behind the scenes. Synchronistic events, strange coincidences, powerful intuition, or epiphanies through dreams are more likely to occur and help to restore your faith in the mysteries of the universe. Have a good one.